All right, check this out. I want to talk about this while this is fresh on my mind. Talking with many people, working with many people, the relapses that I had been through, that I had put myself through, that I didn't have enough firepower within my inventory to keep me from drinking. I didn't know how to not, because the obsession, the irresistible urge to do something against one's own conscious wishes just kept pulling. And it's a terrible thing to say. We have to go through hell before we can finally see something. But these relapses, see, our brains, the triune brain, the coordinator, this is our coordinator and the faculties. It runs everything, So if we're treating it like garbage, we're sending it that signal over and over and over, and then we take that signal away. It doesn't matter how long we go in between a relapse. If we go 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years, whenever we relapse, it's worse than the last relapse before. And what I mean by that, by example, like Budweiser Select had just came out one time, and I kept seeing it in stores, and it's like, that subconscious. I wasn't working any steps, I wasn't working any recovery or nothing, but when I saw that, something started just igniting within me. And then eventually I broke down and bought a 12-pack, and what did I say? I'm going to drink this and that's going to be it. But the first beer I drank was a bottle, and I turned it up and I sucked it dry. And then it wasn't 10 minutes, the 12-pack was gone. I went to get more, and end of story. But the relapses, what we have to do is we have to learn from those. We have to look at our brains. We have to look at how we've damaged it. Because see, I talked with a guy the other night, and his thing is speed, meth, and pills. And he had it a little over a year clean. And once dope was introduced back into his system, in a matter of 36 hours, after a year clean, this is just the other day, I'm talking to this individual, and the paranoia was so strong that it was already, the cops are coming to get me, they're following me, I've seen helicopters and all kinds of shit. And it's like, listen, you're going to be okay. But the psychosis of that, our psychosis whenever we relapse, the brain has been doing so well, but in the subconscious, it's been working out, just waiting on that opportunity. That's why when we relapse, we go so fast to rock bottom, because the subconscious has never been filled, with something positive to keep us from that. But truthfully, we do have to hit rock bottom before we can fucking see anything. But a lot of us, I've worked with people that have gone 6 months, 8 months, a year and a half, and then they get drunk at a fucking wedding and shit, and then they show their ass, and then their wife leaves them, and then it's like you work with them, and then they quit, and then it's just a matter of time before they do it again. It might be 5 years this next time, but next time when they explode, it might be at something bigger. See, the whole time we're not working on anything. We are not changing the signal to the brain, because see, we're just staying dry, working out, maybe riding bikes, hanging out with some cool people. The subconscious is constantly working out. We're not putting any information in our brain to change that thought pattern. Because when we start seeing signs and symbols of our drug of choice, we start marinating, we start, foaming at the mouth if we don't know how to look at them and have control over them, instead of them having control over us, because they're not going to take them down. They're there for a reason, and it's up to us to figure this shit out and fight back. And one way to do it is to not fucking get involved with it. But the relapses, if you're watching this, you're probably like, man, damn, the last time I drank, I blacked out. Shit, I blacked out all the time. I'd get up, drink, black out. Get up, drink, black out. Get up, drink, black out. End up detox or handcuffs or whatever. Because I didn't know what I was doing, and there's a whole lot more to that story too, as far as enabling family, everything else, and I've got to have them on board to share that story. But anyways, whenever you're sitting there and you're like, you need to go into this thinking of it as a trap. Because every time that you do that and you don't educate yourself on yourself and your history and your experience to get you better, then you're going to fall flat on your face every time. And every relapse gets worse. They get worse. And this individual's in his 40s. So, of course his mind, it's been damaged. Our minds have been damaged. Now, it comes back. I can witness to that. It comes back because that was me. But at the same time, if I introduce that other shit, I go right back to that guy. In a matter of 2 sips, I'm right there. My brain is doing this. My brain, right when I introduce this right here to my system, that's what happens in 2 or 3 days. Or I'll die this next go around. But why do I need to do that? See, I already know the power in here. Now I do. Now that somebody has helped me. The power within these bottles. What comes out. If my life is shitty and I'm depressed and miserable, when I drink this, guess what? I'm going to be a dick. As opposed to if my life is all right, and somewhat subtle, then if I drink, I'm going to be happy, silly. But those are 2 different spirits. But happy, silly can get you in fucking trouble. Just sipping on it here and there, and then it end up being that shit. But the relapses are so important. Can you sit there and look at it and say, you know what? I'm not going to let you have power over me. I've had this in my house for 3 years. They tried to fuck with me, and I said, it's mine now. And that's people, I don't know, I just took it. But anyways, and I have it right beside me. Because I want to show people that you can have power over that shit. You can have it. But you have to search for it. Remember, you have to reprogram your brain. If you don't, the relapse is going to get worse. You might die, black out, beat some shit up. Wife never seen that side of you. Or husband. And then divorce, split kids. There goes the good life, the money and all that shit. All because we can't fucking quit. Because we promise we're going to get better. And we do, but we never work on ourselves. The image is more important. Seeing the image gets you there anyways. You get drunk on image. And then the image gets you drunk on alcohol or whatever it is. But I wanted to share that because these relapses are real. How fast the brain can just go, boom, go totally in reverse. And if I relapsed again right now, it would take 2 years if I didn't die. It took me close to a year to make my whole body to come around some, but not the social and the mental and stuff. There's a long process. 20-something years of damage. It ain't going to change in a week like society thinks it is, but they've got their own fucking problems too. Pills and other shit. 70% of the nation's on antidepressants or opiates, and 50% are on both. We're not even talking about benzos either or methadone. I mean, come on. We are a medicated nation. We are. And the last rehab, the last detox I was in, the damn doctor, they said, you are going to die if you don't get these filled. And I said, fuck you. I love you, but you know what? Give me that shit. I'm going to take it. And I still got it. I almost got 5 years now straight. Created my own rehab. Because I know the downfall that I'll have if I introduce that into my system. I've combined all the rehabs and detoxes and boot camp that I was in, getting busted with 10 pounds of weed. The weightlifting that I was so fortunate to get, that's truly saved me. Muay Thai, kickboxing, stretching, all kinds of stuff into one package, and this is what's happened. That guy's gone, and then you see what's happened with the story. But see, my story represents communication. That's what it takes to not relapse. Communicate. Tell somebody, man, I feel like fucking drinking. And hopefully it's somebody you don't know, because somebody that knows you will hold that shit against you and just blackmail the shit out of you down the road, especially if you got a lot of money. I've seen it. Don't say it can't happen. But once again, you got to make a choice. Look at it as a trap. Look at the mind, because the next time you relapse, you're going to remember this video if you watched it. And that shit, your fucking mind is going to be going crazy. It's going to be going zoom, 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 zoom. You won't be able to sit there and think except for that or the pills or the crack or the whatever it is. And that's all your mind will think about when you relapse. You won't even be thinking about your family, your kids, or nothing. You'll be at the school picking them up thinking about where in the hell am I going to get some more shit. And that's how fast it is. If you've had 10 years clean, one night of that shit, the next morning you on the hunt until you get stopped in your tracks. And it's true. It's real deal stuff. I love every one of you. You know, but some of us just have to fall all the way and crumble to the bottom before we can actually see it. Because what's inside of us is trying to come out of you. If you're watching this, it's trying to come out of you. And I know you can feel it. If you're watching my crazy ass, I mean, it's like this. My story it don't represent spending money and shit. It represents growing, you know, whether it be hemp or cannabis and used in a medical way, you know, CBD, oil, rubs, whatever it is. That resource was taken from us, and that's okay. But we have to educate ourselves on why it was, which that's a whole nother video in itself. You know, and the more you take away all this image and material shit, the more you'll see things for what they are. And the more you look at within yourself, because we were put here on this earth for a reason. Not for all this shit, not to get addicted to drugs and alcohol, which is all man-made, pushed and mass-produced and everything. We really don't have a chance. But if we're watching this, we have a chance to not just fight for ourselves, but to fight for the next generation that's going to be hooked on all kinds of other shit. You know, because now you've got sub-medications to come off of these main medications, and then medications come off of alcohol, and then sub-medications come off the sub-medications of that shit. Medication Nation, I love you. Have a good day.